Our football editor and Leicester fan, Jason Bourne, has joined us in the studio. Hi, Jason.
Afternoon, gents.
Our understanding is that he wasn't going to be offered a new contract at Leicester, and there are offers. The MLS is attractive. I wonder if Saudi would be attractive as well, but and we'll come on to that. Maybe that's just an appreciation of what he did for your club.
I mean, the legend, or the word legend, doesn't seem to do it justice at the moment. He's an icon, a master of what he's done and everything good about Leicester City on the field, certainly in the last 13 years or so. I was just saying to one of your producers that the year after he signed, he wanted to pack up football. He wanted to leave Leicester. Nigel Pearson, Craig Shakespeare, who's sadly left us in the last few months, convinced him to stay. And if they hadn't done that, Leicester possibly wouldn't have gone on to do what they did. He wouldn't have had the career that he did. So a lot goes into them. But Jamie himself, it's been such an iconic period for Leicester City. What a player, what a legend. It's just sad that it's ended on this note.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, a season too late, would you say? Would you say building a Premier League team around a 38-year-old strike force is possibly part of the problem?
Objectively, yes, it's the wrong thing, isn't it? You don't want to be relying on a player who's 38, 39 going into next season to be your talisman and score the goals. And when I say score the goals, there's not been any. Some from Jamie this season, but as we know, scoring at home, especially at the King Power, it's been desperate stuff this season. But yeah, I think it was right to give him a contract, maybe a year's contract to at the end of last season, given the success that the club had. But yeah, maybe a season too far for him. But I don't think it matters right now. Looking back, we won't be talking about the last season or so. We'll be talking about the successes, the cups, the Golden Boot that he won during COVID that season as well. So what a player.
A touch of the everyman about him as well, because he came from non-league, and I think the people who watched him, even if you did, he always scored against Tottenham. He always gave us a bit, including this year. But I kind of respected that. There was something very old school about him, and maybe we won't see players like that.
As a fan, he's what you want on the pitch, isn't it? All effort, and
that journey from the way the academy structure is and everything else, that journey from non-league to go and win the Premier League title is probably going to be a lot rarer than it is.
By the way, I love the way that you brought Torquay into it.
The first sentence of the show, for goodness sake.
It's good, isn't it? It's like I'm almost constantly thinking about them all the time at the moment.
But even the FA Cup I think he's the only player, one of the only players in history to ever play in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, as well as the qualifying rounds as well. So clearly not in the same season, but again, such a superb player. And look at the partnerships that he's formed over the years. With David Nugent to get promotion under Nigel Pearson 10, 11 years ago. The partnership with Shinji Okazaki, which was so incredible between the two. You helped each other out so much. Okazaki with his work rate, Vardy with his work rate as well. But, it just fell together and then onwards from there.
Well, David Nugent's a good shout, actually, because you go, there's a player that found his level, wasn't it? Which was somewhere between the Championship and the Premier League. Yeah. Never could quite make that step up.
Thank you for that, if he's listening.
No, but, a great player, but found his level. Whereas Jamie Vardy only ever seemed to improve.
And he pushed on to play for England, of course, after the Premier League winning season. Actually, it was before that. It was the Great Escape season at the end of that, where he scored a few goals towards the end to help Leicester stay in the Premier League under Nigel before he left and Claudio came in. And then I think he got his debut was against Republic of Ireland over at the Aviva in Dublin. Scoring his first goal for England with that sort of back heel against Germany, scoring at the Euros against Wales. These are the stuff that dreams are made of. And I know there was talk of that movie about him a few years ago. It's not come to fruition, but it could easily come. Could easily tell a great story and one that's just so joyous and happy.
Ross wants to join the conversation. He's a Leicester fan. Hi, Ross.
Hello, Ross.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon now, sorry.
Afternoon.
You probably knew this was coming, didn't you? But a kind of sad day, I'm sure, for Leicester fans. Not just because it's Jamie Vardy, but he's a memory of happier times, recent times for your club, isn't he?
Absolutely. And do you know what the best part about it is? It cost us £1 million.
Yeah.
That is the most incredible thing ever. We signed him from Fleetwood in the Championship in 2012, and his first year obviously wasn't that great, but obviously finding his level. He nearly got offloaded to Rotherham, but thank goodness he turned it down.
Yeah.
And obviously now, I'm trying not to cry here, but, you know, at the end of the day, he's won us the top division. You know, the famous line, it's 11, it's heaven for Jamie Vardy. Hold the back page, hold the front page. A Leicester player has smashed the record.
Yeah.
That will always be in my head for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no.
The best part about it is I get to be there for the last game against Bournemouth, away from home. And obviously, I know I've done my about relegation now. I'm not bothered. But Jamie Vardy, living legend. I think he scored the most goals in the Premier League over the age of 30.
Yeah.
You know, he is a Premier League legend. You know, the celebrations to the Red Bulls, to just being Jamie, just to being we call him JV9 the GOAT. And I'm going to say this now. Hope maybe this gets clipped on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Leicester City need to retire the number 9 shirt out of respect for Jamie Vardy.
Jason, what do you think of that? I mean, the number 9 shirt, retiring the shirt.
Are we going to have a better number 9 than Jamie Vardy?
Yeah.
Probably not. Not in my lifetime, no.
Not within the context of what he did in the period, winning the title. I mean, you know, I'm a fine one to talk, but Leicester are a long way off of that at the moment, going to win the Premier League again. Who knows? But so
it's a fitting tribute, isn't it? Yeah.
In some ways, it would be.
Campaign now,
yeah. Well, I think Ross has started it. Thanks, Ross.
Very emotional.
I also just want to mention. I mean, he mentioned the Rotherham turning down. It could have gone there when he was going through the rough patch in the Championship. Remember, he also turned down Arsenal and Arsene Wenger after the title-winning season.
Yeah.
Think what could have happened if he'd gone there. Could he have, built on what he'd done, won more trophies? Doesn't really matter. He still won trophies at Leicester.
Yeah.
Challenge for Europe, getting into Europe. And scoring in Europe too.
In some ways, it feels fitting because the club needs a new era now, doesn't it? A proper rebuild. Stuff's been going wrong on and off the field, and we've sort of talked about it in the office and stuff, and some of the parallels with Spurs. That feeling of hopelessness when you know what there's systemic problems, and a change of manager on a few new players aren't going to alter that. That's the concern, isn't it, going forward for the club?
Well, Jamie put on social media his honest thoughts about what the club had gone through this season over the last few years. What was it, on Monday after the relegation? He was pretty honest, he was brutally honest, and he was perfectly right. A sweeping change needs to happen across all parts of the club, possibly even from the top of the club, from director of football down, about the how it goes forward. And some people, you might get texts this afternoon, I'll be as brief as I can. People call Leicester fans entitled because they're complaining about what's happening at the moment. It's not about struggle. It's not about going through the ringer. It's not about relegation. It's about what's happened to go from there to there, slide down in the manner it's happened, and it seems like there's no plan going forward. Yeah. And, knowing about the mistakes and learning from those doesn't seem to have happened 2 years on from the last relegation.
Well, it's a day of celebration for his career at Leicester. It's been a pretty amazing ride. Thank you, Jason. Thanks very much. Our football editor, Jason Bourne, Leicester City fan. We'll get the thoughts of Phil at the Fox, Jeff Peters a little bit later on. And we'll hear from you throughout the show. talksport.com, text 1889, tweet TSH&J. Maybe if he always scored against you like he did against us, did you have that grudging admiration as he stood right in front of you and giving you the shush or the salute or whatever, the send-off that was a bit of a trademark if you'd been giving him some stick?
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.